Hi guys, bit of a different video today. So obviously fishing's a bit difficult at the moment. Floods are really bad all across the country. I've been down to some of my local venues and really high. Some of the areas are covering like 8 foot. So what I'm going to do is make some rigs, and I'm trying a different style of video today. So I've got my self-healing mat. This is a cut mat I used to make models on back in the day when I used to like making models. It's basically just like a nice mat. It's more for measuring and stuff like that. I'm not really going to use that today. It's more of just a clean background to make. It's probably not the best one because we're making traces. So here we go. So we're going to start with the things you need. So you might want to take a pen and paper. I'm going to put in the description as well so you can see what we need. So we need some trace, which is going to be the main sort of material used throughout this entire sort of little project thing. Some crimps and shrink tubing. Shrink tubing, a lot of people say is optional. I think it just makes everything look neater. I normally put reds near the hooks, blacks near the swivels, and these are just single crimps. These are not double barrel. These are single. They come in a set, cheap on eBay, and it works. They're great. Okay, and then variety of swivels, depending on what you're using them for. Again, I just bought bulk purely because I wanted the bigger ones. I couldn't get the bigger ones on the market because everything is not available at the moment, which is making everything difficult. So I did import these ones, and I've tested them. They are really nice and strong, perfect for what I want to do. You're going to want to use at least sort of like a number 8, I think it is, for these projects. Obviously we need some hooks, so I'm going to make 2 types of trace today. So one for dead baits, which are going to be slightly longer and slightly longer with 2 trebles on there. And then the other one is going to be a live bait rig, and these are double hooks, so a smaller little hook and a larger hook for actually hooking to the fish. So that's the hooks for it. And then a heat source. You can use a small kettle like a fishing kettle or a lighter because it's not mono or braid, so it's not burning through. But I just use a lighter because it's easy at home. So you also need a set of snips and crimps. This is the Savage Gear brand, and that's got a large and small crimp and snips there all built in. So that's what you need. I'm going to quickly leave it there so you quickly have a look and jot down what you need. Again, I'm going to put it in the description for you. Let's get started and let's get making this trace. Right, to start this project off, we're going to start with taking your trace. So any good quality trace. This is coated. You can go with sort of brands like Esox, Savage Gear, Fox Rage, whatever you want to go. This is just a brand I got off eBay and it's coated. And what you want to do, you probably can't see it because it's on a black background, which is not the best idea for me. You want to take a nice length. If you're doing sort of like, we'll start with the live bait rig. I go with slightly shorter, but normally I'd go with something like sort of that there is, I think, about 18 inches. So we're going to go with that. And what you're going to do, it's going to be so difficult. So you've got your line cut off with your snips, and what you want to do, first thing you want to do is take one of these crimps, and you're going to want to thread it onto your line where you trace, like so. And then you're going to want to take your swivel, which I've got off screen, like so, and you're going to thread that on the line. So now both are on the line, like so. Okay? And then what you want to do is you want to take the tag end back over itself and push it back into the barrel. Okay? So it forms a loop. And to tighten the loop, take your thumb and forefinger and just pull it tight. So you've got like a loop, but you've got space there as well. Don't know if you can see that on camera. Yeah? And that way you've got the manoeuvrability under the float. This is so dodgy trying to film like this. And then you're going to take your crimping tool. What I do is I go in the big crimp first, squeeze down, nice, they should be nice and soft for you, and then go into the small crimp, squeeze down, nice and hard, and that should be now nice and crimped to not come off, okay? And then what you want to do is take some, I'm taking black shrink tubing for the purpose of this one, because I like to have the swivel black, just because I know it's not like a hot zone. What I mean hot zone is traces. You're going to take that and you're going to want to do is take it over your crimp but not cover the loop, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to take your lighter and you're not going to burn it, you're going to glide the flame over it, just to like that, just whip it with it. And what you're going to do is you're going to seal all the it's so annoying, it all up, and it's going to be nice and neat, okay? And it covers all the joint, it strengthens the link between the swivel and the crimp as well. And then next side, what you want to do is we're going to take your tag end and we're going to take your hook of choice. So this is going to be a live bait rig, or it's going to be I'm trying a small dead bait. I've got hold of some small dead baits which I want to try on for perch and sort of like small predators and stuff like that. And it's basically a double hook like that, and you've got a small one and a larger one, okay? So then what you want to do is take another crimp from your crimps, okay? Put this on the tag end, like so, like we did before. And you're basically going to repeat the process with the hook, like you did the swivel, okay? Then you're going to fold it over again, push it back into the crimp, and then pull it down, leaving the loop to have full mobility in the hook, okay? Leave a tiny bit of tag end, don't know if you can see that, leave a tiny bit of tag just for slippage, just in case there's a bit of slippage. There shouldn't be, if you've done it correct there shouldn't be, because the trace wire and the crimps work really well. And you just go crimp it again nice and tight, like so, and that's a basic trace. I'm just going to add on here a bit of red shrink tubing, but the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to pass it over the swivel on the non-business end, down the trace to where I want it to be, hold it in place, remember gliding with the lighter, like so, not burning it, and that just neats it all up. Now what I'd like to do is just take the hook end into my slots on my crimping tool and just give it a little pull, see if it's nice and tight. That's nice and tight, and there you have a nice, I don't know if you can probably see that, but you've got a nice trace there, ready made, ready to go, and you can knock these up really quickly. So that's just your basic single hook trace or live bait trace or whatever you want to call it. So now you want to use bigger dead baits. So what you want to do, you want to take a bit of longer line now. So you want it to end up about the same length in the long run, but you need to take obviously a bit more because you're putting 2 hooks on now. And I'll show you exactly how we're going to do it. So first things first, we're going to start straight away off the bat again. We're going to put on the tag end of your line the crimp on again, like so. And basically what we're going to do is repeat the process again on the swivel like so. Bring it back on itself again. It's a bit fiddly when your eyes are dodgy like mine. Bring it nice and tight, so you've got a nice little loop there. Take crimping tool again, and you're going to want to crimp this side, like so. So now the swivel's on, and then we're going to take a piece of black shrink tubing, because we all know I like black shrink tubing for my swivels. I will get a lighter, I think I'm going to get a light in that for next time, so you can actually see it a bit better. So I do need to get a light one because I just lost it myself then. So then what we're going to do is you're going to pass it down, this black shrink tubing, down onto the crimp like we did last time, like we said before, and we're just going to glaze over it with a lighter, like just whip it, don't burn it, just whip it, and that makes it nice and neat around the joint so nothing gets caught. So now we need to take our hook of choice. I've got some, these are number 6 trebles, these are all barbed as well. These are brass as well. I don't know why I've gone for brass, just gone for brass because everything's a bit difficult to get hold of, so I just got what I could get. And then what you want to do is thread it onto the line or trace, get to the sort of length that you sort of want. So I've got about 10 inches here, and then what you're going to do is you're going to try and, you're basically going to do like a knotless knot around the treble, okay? So you're going to do the knotless knot, you're going to wrap it around the shank of the hook sort of 4 or 5 times. Don't do too many because it does coil up. And then what you want to do is bring it back through the eye of the hook. This can be very sharp, so watch out, don't prick yourself, and don't sort of like do it too much because it will coil up, but there's a way of getting around that in a bit. Alright, so as you can see, now the treble is basically tied onto the trace with a knotless knot. Okay, and then what you're going to do is just to secure that properly all in place, you're going to take some shrink tubing. I've gone with red again. I like to use red so I can see where the hooks are. Some people like to use black all the way through, some people don't. Some people like using clear, some people like to use none, but I like to use red. So I just pass that over the swivel and then bring it down to the hook, and then I'm pushing it onto the hook like so. And then what this is going to do, this is going to secure the wire going down the treble as well. So it's basically going to form like a hair, but not a hair. So as you can see now, there's the treble, and then we've got all this excess line. And then what you're going to do on this end is a little bit of a different, because it's going to be difficult to get the shrink tubing on at the end. Put the shrink tubing on first on your tag end. So this is the tag end coming up down the hook. Then you're going to take your crimp and put that on, but secure it, don't let it get lost. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get your hook for your end, like so, put it through the eye of the hook, and then bring it back around like you would the swivel. And we're basically repeating what we did on the swivel, pulling it so it's got a nice little loop there, like so. It's quite difficult to show you. Yeah. And then we're going to crimp this tight using the crimping tools. So that's crimped into place now. Okay. And then what we're going to do is going to bring the shrink tubing down onto where we want to seal it. So I like to have it on the crimp itself but not on the loop. Whip it with the lighter or steam it, make it nice and solid, And then now what you've got here is, this is a large dead bait rig. So it starts with a swivel, goes all the way down to one treble, down to another treble. So now that is 2 nice trebles knocked up in an easy 5 minutes. Nice little thing to do if you're sort of just watching TV. Nice little thing to do if you're on the bank, which is good. And then what you want to do is just keep these on a noodle, like a piping noodle, or you want to keep them in on the rig banks or something like that, so they don't get all tangled up and you don't sort of catch yourself. Like I said, really nice and easy, nice little project to do. Very, very easy to do as well. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know feedback on this video, because this is what I can do a little bit more. But I'm going to change this to a lighter colour, because obviously that was a bit difficult to see. And I'm thinking about maybe bringing the ring light round so it's a bit brighter as well. But yeah, let me know if the instructions are nice and clear, and what I can improve on it, because obviously I like to improve. You guys are the critics at the end of the day, and the viewers, and hopefully you all learn something from this. So yeah, give it a go. Send us some pictures on my Facebook page of your ones. I always like to have a look at that, and I'll catch you on the bank next time, and don't forget to like and subscribe.